What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Aftersound here, bringing you Splinterlands content every single day. We also stream right here on this channel as well as on Twitch, so make sure you come by and say hello. This video is also brought to you by my music, which is available anywhere you stream music under the name Aftersound, and I do have a new song out recently called Dreamin', the Deep Source Remix, so check it out. Let me know what you think, and I appreciate the support. All right, guys, let's talk about SPS. Now, a while back, I don't even remember when, to be honest, I said that my goal, it was probably near the beginning of the year, but I said that my goal for 2025 was to hit 500,000 SPS staked. And I don't really remember where I started, but, in kind of doing the math and just seeing how much I was earning on a regular basis, whether that was from the game, whether that was from, playing ranked, I should say, whether that was from land, whether that was from validators or just staking rewards or LPs. I mean, a lot of that stuff has changed also, but just from what I was earning there, I figured that I could track, I would probably get to 500,000 by the end of the year. Now, there was a certain period, especially early on, and when things started to really take off a little bit, that I started buying more SPS rather than just passively earning it through all the different ways I could participate in the game. And I started buying more SPS in order to get to my goals a little bit faster. So we're now about halfway through the year, right? We're almost in mid-July, but we're definitely through the midpoint of the year. And you can see here that I have about 472,000, we'll say 473,000 SPS that is currently staked. So hitting the 500,000 is, I mean, I'm definitely going to get there before the end of the year. But I'm weighing my options here. And I don't, this is just something I was brainstorming today, and I'm kind of just putting out my different ideas, mainly because I want to crowdsource with you guys and see what are you guys doing? How are you viewing SPS? And again, none of this is financial advice. So don't take anything that I'm doing as this is great investment advice. My goal was arbitrary, right? It was a nice round number. I wanted to get to 500,000. Really, the only reason 500,000 stood out to me was because I knew that it would maximize my earnings, right? I think it's like the 10 or 12x multiplier if I were to play Modern. I'm not, though, right? And if I wanted to get, it would give me decent rewards in Wild. I think in the doubling amount of that would be like 800,000 that you would need in Wild to get that same 10x multiplier. And again, the multipliers don't even mean much anymore just because, what people used to earn before the multipliers came in is completely different. We're in a new paradigm here. So it's really just, okay, how much am I earning? Do I want to continue earning more chunks of, in ranked battles? And that's just where my head is at, right? So in doing the quick math on this, if I were to just purchase another 27,000 SPS, which would essentially get me to the 500,000 point, I could be there today, right? And it would cost me about $200. And this is with the retracement of SPS all the way back down to 0.0074. So I'll show that here. And so this is like a 50% retracement that SPS has done in the past couple of weeks, really in the past couple of weeks or the past couple of months. And my question then is okay, I could just get to my goal if I wanted to. I could just throw money at the problem, right? Arbitrarily, everything is down. And again, I have no idea. SPS could continue to go down from here. It could go up, right? I have no idea what's going to happen. Sure, I'm hopeful that the flywheel will get activated in a couple of months. And obviously, Bitcoin is hitting new all-time highs. We hit 119,000 today. So there's a lot of exciting things happening over the next couple of weeks and months. Hopefully. Fingers crossed, but I'm not going to bank on any of that. I know that I'm going to get to 500,000 on my own. But then the question became, okay, I had this 500,000 as just an arbitrary goal. What do I do after that? Right? Does that mean that I will start taking ice cream money more regularly from my SPS earnings? And for people who've been following, right, I do take my ice cream money. And for anybody that might be new, ice cream money is just me, basically just pulling some money out here and there, usually to buy Bitcoin or usually to buy myself ice cream, right? And I just call it ice cream money as a way to kind of actualize whatever rewards that are coming from this and make them real in some way. And so that'll usually come from maybe renting out my SPS. I know that market's completely dead right now. Renting out my cards, usually selling vouchers if I don't need anything for vouchers, right? I haven't been selling SPS. If anything, there were times when I was buying SPS, especially over the last couple of, really since the beginning of the year. And so then, this is where I'm stuck now because I'm like, am I just going to move the goalposts, right? Once I get to 500,000, am I going to look at 600 or maybe 800, right? Since I mentioned that earlier, or even a million as you know what? I should get there. do I feel comfortable selling SPS at these lower values, right? Because I will be earning, I would have hit my threshold of like where I wanted to be of having 500,000, and I'm gonna ride or die with that 500,000 for the rest of the rest of my time with Splinterlands, which will hopefully be for many years to come, right? We celebrated 7 years. Hopefully, there's 7 more and even more after that. But it's like, okay, if I were to get my 500,000, like what am I going to do with it after that? So again, I don't really have an answer. This is just something that I'm thinking through, but I wanted to open it up to you guys because obviously we've been through a lot, especially if you've been here with the game for as long as I have, which is 4 years or maybe even longer than that. We've seen SPS go through some interesting rallies, but on the whole, it's been down and to the right since its inception, right? Yeah, we've had spikes here and there for major releases. We just had another spike for a major release, but at the end of the day, there's just way too much out there and not enough demand. Now, I'm not saying that that's how it's always going to be, and I know the team is actively working on increasing demand for that, both directly with flywheel usage as well as indirectly with flywheel usage, or directly with getting new players to come in that want to buy and hold SPS for the benefits that it gives you in game, right? That is something that I have a decent amount of confidence that the team is working towards this. I think that we are going to align with some kind of bull run. So all in all, like, I feel pretty good about where things are headed. It's just not a matter of like, oh, I want to like hold as much SPS as possible, right? I'm trying to get like into the millions like Vugtis or Brave Tofu. I have what I need for the game, and I'm going to hold that for the foreseeable future, right? But the rewards that I get from that, well, I can turn those around and either buy more stuff in the game, right? I can start buying cards or putting it into land, which is probably where my head is at, just because I know that, a lot of my land is underutilized right now, and whether that's getting the DEC for land or getting the DC to get land online or getting better cards, like upgrading the cards that I already have on there, that could be another option, right? So it's like, yeah, I'm getting rid of SPS, but I'm kind of, churning it back into the game. Whereas like anytime I earn DEC, I usually use that. I know, and this might be foreign for some folks, but it's just like every time I earn DEC, I'm usually finding a way to get Bitcoin or ice cream money with that. That's just how I approach this. But I'm just putting this out there. Again, this is for me a little bit of an update of where I'm at in my journey, right, in terms of getting to my goal. But I'm curious if you're willing to share, like, what is your arbitrary or non-arbitrary SPS goal number that you're trying to get to? What is the time frame? Or if you want a strict time frame, like by the end of this year, where are you hoping to be with it? And then what are your strategies once you get there, or in order to get there? How are you kind of focusing and strategizing around that? So let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Just thought I'd share some of my ideas and hear some of yours. That is all I have for you guys in this video. I'll catch you all in the next one and see you around the game. Take care.